Hi, everyone. I was trying an experiment because yesterday somebody said they didn't like the dogs barking. But, you know, they only bark in the beginning. So if that person's watching the videos, maybe they just don't turn on the sound until, you know, maybe a couple minutes in or 1 minute. They usually stop. Anyway, it's embarrassing. I'm sorry that my dogs bark, but I have tried it so many different ways, and I just don't know how to get them to not say good morning to you. And especially when there are people like, it looks like the mailman already is here. Good morning, everyone. I'm just going to get started. I have so much to talk about. So much. Hold on. Come here, you guys. Yes, sorry. So sorry about the dogs. I think maybe if I wore a microphone, it might lessen the amount of barking or something. Yeah, they're saying good morning. They are indeed. So, and Lola, she's just learning. I've noticed that she's been two months now, almost 3 months that we've had her, and she's changing. Like she licked my hand and she jumped up on my lap, like her front paws and stuff. So I know, but somebody in the group or one of the groups said that they didn't like it. They couldn't watch it because of the dog. So, oh well, they have to find somebody else. Hey, let's start off with announcements, but I want to show you what we're doing today. It's Freebie Friday. Freebie Friday, and we are doing, look at this card. It's an interesting card because it's like a trifold. It doesn't attach. It's not a fold card, but it's sort of like an interesting fold. And then on the back is sort of a space for writing, but also I have done a sentiment in this. This is iron-on foil. It came yesterday in the mystery box. I want to talk about mystery boxes for a second. And so I decided to use it in the mystery box. Yeah, I know, but it's hard. I mean, I know that some people want, I don't know, they want really professional tutorials, and you're just not going to get that with me. It's kind of like my life. My son's always going to pop in if he knows that I'm live, and the dogs are going to bark when the mailman comes and everything, and you know, stuff like that. So I apologize if that's not your cup of tea, but there are lots of people that do some pretty awesome tutorials that don't have barking dogs, so maybe go see those. All right. Let's talk about mystery boxes, because I know I've heard from a couple of you that the mystery boxes have been sort of disappointing because you don't get them very often because you work or you just missed it and everything. So I wanted to just go over what a mystery box is, and kind of like, I can't give you a schedule or tell you what's in them, but they tend to go at least one, sometimes two a month. And there are there are 3 types of mystery boxes. There's a digital mystery box that is for images, and you will not get anything shipped to you. That's usually like things like licensed images, so Disney, Warner Brothers, Sanrio, things like that. So that's a digital mystery box. Those come out less frequently. I usually see maybe one a month. And then there are 2 types of physical mystery boxes. There's a Cricut Access only, and then there's just a regular mystery box. So the regular mystery box is for anyone. You do not need to be a Cricut Access customer to get it, okay? However, they don't usually contain Cuties, the regular mystery box. It's the Cricut Access mystery box that contain the cuties. And so it's just like another thank you for being an Access subscriber. So we've talked a lot about Access. And first of all, do you know that we're almost up to 200,000 images in Access? Isn't that insane? And they're good images. They're not like cheesy images, as a couple people have said. I think it was Abigail. Images I want to use. So 200,000 images, but it's not all about the images and fonts. It's about the special offers. And I think, and I can't verify this, but I think going forward, you're going to see more and more things that are Access exclusive. So they've done it with the mystery boxes and it's gone over very well. They have Cricut Access sales, but maybe they'll be adding things to Design Space that will be just for Access customers. I know, for instance, with the collections, they do that. You can have an unlimited number of collections in Design Space. So, and I have a lot of them. so there's something to consider with your Design Space Access subscription. It's not just about the images. Okay. The other thing I want to mention about, mystery boxes is they know that they sell out really quickly. So, which is why they limit it to just having the product experts get the products ahead of time and show you like when it comes out. So we have to wait until they give us the go ahead. And sometimes that changes, but we tried to do like before they launch. That did not work. So right now what we do is we show you them as it launches, but it should only be the people that are considered product experts, which right now, including Canada, there's 10 of us. So 10 people, and they each, I think, have a special link. I think they're all like affiliates. They have special links. So if you see it like posted in Cricut Official, you're buying it, you're not helping one of the product experts. Okay, so there's that, because Cricut Official feels like they should, be able to say it, make sure everybody gets it, even if they don't follow a product expert. So, but if you see it like Melody or me or who else, Paulette and Holly and Abby, Carol, those people, those are product experts that are offering it. So there you go. And we're going to keep that at that. Also, starting the end of this month or the beginning of October, the mystery boxes are they're upping the quantities by like a lot. So I don't know. They don't tell us what the quantities are, but they get picked and packed in and ahead of time, in Utah. So apparently they've offloaded some of that picking and packing to an outside country, and they've upped the amount, which will make it a lot easier for you to get them in the future. So I just thought I would mention that. So, okay. So that's mystery boxes. While we're talking about mystery boxes and cuties, we did end our Lilac Cutie giveaway, and I have a winner, and I want to announce it. I will announce it in just a bit. Okay. A few other things. I wanted to wish happy birthday to my friend Holly, who is in Utah, and I don't know what year she's celebrating, but happy birthday, Holly. I'm so glad that we are friends. Next week, we are going to continue on this card making journey, but we're going to focus on all of these brand new cards. Did you see this butterfly pop-up card? And look at this bouquet. There's a pineapple. There's a present. a Christmas tree, this dragon, a snowflake, the balloon, and then these other two, which are kind of pale in comparison. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to get through them all, but I don't know, might not have time, might have to continue moving forward with them. And I hope you're liking them. I'm getting good feedback from that. So if you feel like you want to see them all, then I will show you them all. And what's the other thing? Tomorrow night is our Zoom call. It's our monthly Zoom call. And Lynn Collins, thank you. She set up the Zoom call. Unfortunately, my girlfriend who lives in New Hampshire is just got her diagnosis, and it's not a good diagnosis. And so we talked for a very long time yesterday, and one of the things she wants to do, like just sort of on her bucket list, is work on her photo album of her life with her husband, who she's been married to for 25 years, and great guy. And she wants to scan all of her physical photos and put them in digital format so that she can have like a digital thing. So I told her that I would go up there and help her with that tomorrow. So what that means is we'll still have the Zoom call, but I'm going to have Lynn, who's set it up. If she can't do it, I'll have somebody else do it, but I'm going to have Lynn start it off so that you can have it without me being the host, but I'll come. I'm just frightened that I will hold it up. So I'm going to pass the baton to Lynn, okay? And so, even if, I don't know, maybe I'll stay over, I don't know, that sort of thing. I won't have to rush to get home. And she's just really having a really hard time. And believe it or not, like most of her family is gone. She lost her parents and her brother all at young age. Oh, goodness. Yeah, so Santo's back and he's doing the weed whacking, so that's what they're barking at. Santo was in the DR for a month, so my backyard looked like a hayfield. So, yes, and the other thing about my friend is prayers and prayers and prayers. It works. I know it works. So that's all that we can really do for people. But it's helpful. It really is. And she's a Christian, and she's only 48 years old. And she said, I'm okay with it if it happens, but I'm hoping for a miracle. So let's pray for a miracle for her. So, okay, so that's tomorrow's Zoom, and I will post the Zoom link, okay? So today we're doing Freebie Friday, as we always do on Fridays, woohoo! And we are going to go to SVG Cuts for this card. Yes, thank you so much for all the prayers. Her name is Molly, and she needs those prayers in abundance. So thank you guys. And if you're not a praying type, that's okay. You could send a good vibe. You can send a good vibe. That's okay too. So we're going to go to SVG Cuts, which is literally SVG cuts.com, and we're going to go to free designs. Now, I haven't done a lot of SVG Cuts projects as of late. I absolutely adore this designer. Her name is Mary. Last year she had a baby, and so I kind of wanted to give her some breathing room so that she can kind of get her business set, she had a baby. So I didn't really post a whole lot of stuff. But if you're interested in her stuff, I absolutely love it. She also has quite a deep library of free designs, and they are right up here on her on her like header. So this home inspiration free design. So when you click on that, you're actually going into the blog. So you can't like buy anything here. It's kind of like the blog. You see it says svgcutsblog.com. So you can find it at svgcutsblog.com as well. So there's like 41 pages of freebies here. And we're going to do one here. I'm going to show you, but I just kind of want to, there's quite a few. This one here is perfect for if you're canning, you like to can jam. It's a gift box with a window pane. That's awesome. In here, which is, there's a lot here, but in here, there's some pretty awesome things. They're not just free flat images, although some of them are. They might look like they're flat, but they're actually like, so this one here might look a little flat, but it's actually a box. It's a sock gift box. And here's bags and here's boxes. So there's a lot. So on page 4, this is the one that we're going to do. So you click on it and you can read all about it. She did this in 2016, and it sort of, it has a little video that you can watch. It's not a long video. It's like maybe an 1 or 2 minutes. And she must have launched this at the same time that she launched this one, Harvest Sunset. Remember, we did these pumpkins, and then also there are a number of other great projects in there. And then she also shows some of her other projects, including her Eiffel Tower. And I love this one here, the English red phone booth. So this is a way for, again, like, you know, it's a freebie, so people can sort of get in and sort of get a feel for her designs. They are actually very intricate designs, so you might feel a little overwhelmed by some of them. So it's good to do some of these freebies. So all you need to do here is just download. Click on this download now button. And when you do that, it will go to your download file. So for me, here's my download file, and you'll see it says SVG Cuts Birch Tree Card, and it was in zip format. And my computer automatically opens zips cards. So when you open the file folder, you'll see there's actually a menu, which you can click on PDF, and you could print it if my computer ever catches up. And there's a picture of it so that you can refer to it. And then there are the SVG files in this folder. It includes an envelope, but you guys know about me and envelopes. Anyway, the card has a number of pieces, you know, all of these panels. But if you go, I think if you go to, I'm pretty sure if you go to the extra file, oh wait, interior panel, side panel. No, this one here, she usually will put the entire thing in here, but no, you have to actually upload all those pieces. So let's go to our, to our canvas, and we'll do new and upload, and you can see here, this is where you upload images, remember? So on Freebie Fridays, we'll always have to do this uploading images. So it's good to get to know how to do this, okay? So then we're going to hit browse, and it will bring us up to one of our files, which usually should be downloads. So here's my downloads. So I'm just going to look for, here it is, SVG Cuts Birch Tree Card. So I'm going to click through there, click on the SVGs, go under card, and now I have to import all of these. So there's 2, 4, 6, 7. So you just click on one at a time. Now you can do drag and drop if that's something that you know how to do, but this is the surefire way on how to do it. Not everybody can do drag and drop, so I'm just showing you like the standard way. So you would do all of that, and then you would, once you have them all in, you would click on them, make sure they have that green around them. And then you would go to add to canvas, okay? And add to canvas will, remember, you always have to, attach your score lines to the canvas, and the only score lines on this particular one is the actual card. There's 2 score lines right here. So you're going to attach, okay? So I'm going to open up my completed here, because that's really not the discussion today. The discussion is about how I'm embellishing the card with a sentiment on the front and on the back panel. I decided to use this foil iron-on that we got in the mystery box. So mystery box, if you got the mystery box, you can use this foil when it arrives. It's called the Ladylike Sampler, or if you just have gold or any kind of foil any kind of foil iron-on, right? You can use that. We're also going to be using the mini, our Easy Press mini, and our pad, because we want to protect our surface. And then we are also going to embellish the actual card to make it look like Birch. But the most important lesson is about the iron-on, okay? So I'm just going to open up my existing card. And by the way, I cannot give you this file. You have to retrieve it yourself, because it's from an outside designer, okay? So the card is pretty simple. These are all the pieces. So this is the main card. And here are the leaves, which are going to cut out, and we're going to kind of give them a little extra look. But here's the main card, so that cuts out, and this will fit in about 5 by 7 inch envelope. Now, when this folds, it's going to be folding like this, okay? So when you put it in the envelope, it's going to fold like this. So I have reserved this back part for a sentiment, okay? So this piece, which can be anything you want, really. They have and I'm going to show you one that I did with just a piece of cool pattern cardstock that I came up with. But this is going to be visible behind your card. So consider that when you go to cut it out, okay? And then all these pieces are extra, just embellishment pieces. So this would go on the actual back. So this is is this right? No, right. So on the opposite side of this, you'll put that blue or the scene or whatever you choose. And then this goes on the back. So I decided when I did this, I was going to create an extra little piece. So I did make this oval. I want to show you how I did that. And then these pieces just go on to the little side pieces, okay? So this oval was created very simply by taking this piece and adding in a shape. This is my standard operating procedure on how to create extra pieces. You might be getting bored of it, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take and add a square that I'll unlock, and then I am just going to make sure it goes over this. Then I'm going to select both, and I'm going to slice that out. All right. So when I slice that out, I get this extra, which I don't need. And actually, I just did something goofy. Before I did that, I should have duplicated this. So I'm going to duplicate it and put it to the side. Then we have this and do the slicing now. Okay? Dogs are going crazy, and we gave them a walk this morning. So slice, and then you have your interior of your cut. Now, it's going to be a tight fit here. So first of all, I'm going to just switch it to white because I want it to be white. And they are goobers, yeah. So it may behoove you to just make this a little bit smaller so that there's some wiggle room. About 1/4 of an inch all around. So what I did was I made mine, 3.8 inches high. So that way I'd have this nice, and it'll be some like almost like a mat that was created. So the next thing I thought of is I wanted to do a sentiment, and I wanted to do one on the front and then one in this little egg shape, the oval shape. So this is the front of the card. It looks like a Polaroid picture sort of cutout. And so I was wanting to put something like right here on the bottom. So I found this one it says Hello Autumn. I suppose I could just give you those pieces. I could give you those pieces, so maybe I can do that, but it won't have the rest of the card. It won't allow me to do that. So so here we go. There's my Hello Autumn, and that looks really great. And I'm going to cut that out with iron-on, foil iron-on. It's going to look so fabulous. And then for my oval, I found this Autumn Paints Nature in Gold. And isn't that great for gold iron-on? It's so pretty. It's so pretty. So I found both of these greetings in Design Space just by going to images and typing in the word autumn. And I might have done a lot of scrolling for the gold thing, but here's another one, beautiful golden autumn. That could also be done, but I kind of like the writing. That's sort of an in style right now. So if you have, so I want to find it. Okay, so here it is. Autumn Paints Nature in Gold, right? It's a Cricut Access image. So what you'll see is that it's 3 colors. So to make it so that you can cut it out with only one color, the foil, you need to weld the image. So look down here, this is weld. So when it's selected and you weld it, it changes to all one color. It's the pumpkin color, but you don't have to do that. So and then just sort of resize it so that it's going to fit inside of the oval. So this one is resized here and here, and so there we go, right? So here's what I got. I'm going to show you how to actually cut this out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut out that part of the card. So I'm going to group this and hide it. Okay. So I'm just going to be able to cut both of these out, and I want to do them both in foil, but and I want them exactly the same. Okay. So I need to make sure they're the same color as each other, because I want to cut them out on the same piece of foil. Now I got a 12 by 12 sheet of foil, but I already used it. So I have this little piece, and I want to show you how that works. So the first thing I want to do is I want to check that the colors are the same. Sometimes they look the same, but they aren't the same. So it's always good to check color sync before you go to cut. And yes, they are the same. Perfect. That works for me. It doesn't even have to be gold. It could be black for that matter, but because I can use whatever thing I want, whatever material I want, right? The color is for you to understand what it's going to look like. It's just so that you can understand the aesthetics. So then when we're ready to cut it, we're going to just hit make it. And you'll see that here are both of my cutouts, but I'm going to do this in iron-on. So I am going to go over here to this toggle switch and I'm going to hit mirror. Why do I do that? Because with iron-on, we cut actually on the wrong side. So we don't cut on the shiny side. We cut on the wrong side of the material, and then we peel it all away, and then we turn it around. This part ends up being the front, right? So that's why you have to mirror it, okay? And just get in the habit, even though some things don't need to, you know, like technically don't need to be mirrored. If you're using iron-on, get in the habit of mirroring. So we'll hit make it, or go, continue, whatever, and we're going to choose our base material. You're going to want to go here to all materials and choose iron-on. Okay, because this is a kind of iron-on, and right above it says foil and metal, but that's not what you should choose. You should choose iron-on, and then when you get there, choose foil iron-on. See right there, foil iron-on. That's what we're going to choose. Okay, now we have to prepare our mat. So I have a mat, and I'm going to put this on. I'm going to move you a little bit. Okay, so here's our piece of iron-on. It's actually bigger than what I need, but that's okay. I will use this instead. So I'm putting the good side down onto the mat like this. And if you have a brayer, this keeps it down. If you don't have a brayer and your mat isn't brandy new, it might lift a little bit like this. And what you can do for anything is take a little tiny piece of masking tape. Masking tape won't ruin, even if you're doing this for paper, it won't really ruin your material. So I have a tendency to do this with iron-on especially. Now, if you had a Maker 3 or an Explore 3, you could use smart vinyl, but I don't know if they have foil in the smart vinyl. Okay. Now, one thing I'm going to do, because I'm using this this tape, is I'm going to go up here, and I want to look where my images are. This one's kind of close to that piece of tape, so rather than worry if it's going to cut through the tape, I'm just going to move it ever so slightly so that it's just not in the way. Okay? And now I am ready to cut this. So I am just going to put this into my machine and hit the button. There we go. And you're going to see how hopefully it stays stuck down. It's always an adventure with me. So there is that. So it's going to go, and I'll just tell you a couple things that I worked with. So here, these are 2 paper pads that I got this year. This one I got from Michael's is called Give Thanks. It was one of the hot buys. I used some of this for embellishing the card. And then this is a brand new one I just got in the mail from Joann's called Falling Leaves. It's by Die Cuts with a View. See that? Die Cuts with a View. And this is a very nice and double-sided pad. You notice that their pads have actually decreased in size. They only give you 36 pages, but now they're double-sided. So you just have to and not only that, but they've taken away all those little extra pages that were mostly used for scrapbook people, but we as die cutters couldn't use too well. Okay, so whoop, just dropped something. Also want to mention that sometimes you can buy these, which are 6x6 paper pads. This is a good way if you don't have a whole lot of money or you can't find these on sale. They usually run around $6 or $7, and they're sort of a minuscule way to use, but you'll find that a lot of your embellishments can be cut out with this. Okay, so that's kind of it's a cool way if you can't afford the big pad. Okay, so we're almost done, and let us get our weeding tool so you can see how wonderful this is to weed. I also need a pair of scissors. This is quite intricate, right? So so you might think, oh, it's gonna be hard to weed. It is not gonna be hard to weed. Okay, so there's our foil. I'm gonna take it off the mat. I'm also gonna remove these pieces of masking tape. Normally I put them on the side of my desk, but I don't need them, and they come off great and they don't damage your product. Okay, so because I want to be frugal, I'm going to cut off the part that I don't need and save it in my box. I have a scraps box that I put underneath my desk, and when it gets filled up, then I call my friend who has kids and is a teacher, and she takes them off my hands, which is great. Okay, so here are two cutouts. So you can see on this side, Autumn paints nature in gold, and this one says Hello Autumn. So we're going to put it on to the good side down, and then we're going to take our tool. This is just a weeding tool. You do not need to use a Cricut weeding tool. They do have them though, and I always call it like a weeder or a picker thing. Anyway, so we're gonna grab at the corner, and so here this tape, it's kind of sticky. That is going to be the it's like a transfer sheet, so that you don't have a problem with the iron on. So once you get that corner going, then you're just going to slowly pull all of these little pieces just like this. And kind of don't be afraid, even though if you're used to working with vinyl and you're like, I have to be very careful because this is pretty small. It actually weeds beautifully, and sometimes people choose iron-on instead of vinyl because it's easier. It's easier to weed and apply than vinyl. So now I'm just going through with my weeding tool and taking out all of those extra spaces, like inside the loops of the Hello and Autumn and anything else I might have missed. So you have to do that, right? Just like this. All right. And then when you're ready, you can start your press to get your press on, but we're going to actually do the second piece now. I'm finding if I cut out extras and I don't make them while we're on the show, I don't put them together and they end up in all these pieces. So I'm trying very hard to put everything together that I cut out, because that too is wasteful if I am just sending them all to scraps, and you guys know. So here is the other one, the bigger one, where it says Autumn paints nature in gold. All right, and this has obviously more to weed out, so we shall do that. It's not like foolproof. You can have a little bit of problems, but if you had something that lifted up accidentally, you can just kind of press it down, because this side of the transfer is a little sticky. which is good for when you're doing anything, any kind of iron on, because it sort of it gives a nice like attachment to whatever your base product is. Now in this case we're using cardstock, which is awesome. I love to use cardstock and iron on, and we're going to be using our mini, but you don't have to use a mini. You can use a household iron, but you cannot, if you're using a household iron, you cannot put the steam on, because steam ruins, ask me how I know, steam ruins iron on. It has to be really, really dry. Now, if you have only a easy press, like the larger 9x9, this will work as well. So don't feel like you have to rush out and get a mini, but they are pretty convenient. I really do like them, especially if you're somebody that sews. Now, if you're somebody that sews and you do like quilting, you probably have one already. So, so you can use that one as well. Just, it's going to be on a low heat for the iron on. So there are 2 iron on pieces, and let me set up my iron on. So we're going to put this piece in the front, and then we're going to put this one in the back right here. Okay. I'm going to be using this, which is just, if you don't have it, that's okay, but it's an easy press mat. I love these. I love this size. I think it's like 6x8 or 6x10 or something. No, it's 8x10. Okay, Rita. And then we're going to get our pieces of our card. Let me get those. I cut out quite a few. Here is one that I cut out, and I already put together, so I wanted to show you that, how I did that. So this is what I did. I didn't do the leaves just yet. And then in the back, this is what I was talking about. So when you're giving it, it has all these really cool things: October, autumn, leaves, fall, thankful, pumpkin spice. I kind of like the way that looked. Instead of going for a realistic background, I thought that was kind of fun. So here we go. I'm going to press on this circle, but I'm going to do the Hello Autumn directly on there. So here's my Easy Press Mini. I have checked my heat guide, which you guys know you have to check your heat guide. And it says for foil iron on cardstock using the mini, you're just going to put it on the first or the low, right? So one squiggle. Come on, you guys. Come over here. Come over here. Come under the bed. Yeah, come under the desk. Yeah. Stay there. No, go away. Okay, so we're going to wait for it to heat up. It will turn green when it heats up. All right, honey. All right, honey. Here. So we're waiting for it to heat up while I pacify my dog. Here you go, honey. Here you go. Little Benji. Okay. We're waiting for it to heat up. And then while we're doing that, I guess what we'll do is I'm going to actually cut all the extra off around here. That's just me. You don't have to do it. It's just kind of me and helps me to sort of think how it's going to go on. Okay? So according to the heat guide, I need to do this for 25 seconds. You do not need an additional cover on this unless you are going to use the larger press and it was going to go on the rest of your card. So, which is kind of why I like to do it in parts anyway. So here you go. We'll put together the entire card as well later. So here, I think this is good. I want to make sure it's sort of centered where I want it. This is regular cardstock from Michael's 65-pound cardstock. My Easy Press is ready. I'm going to do it for 25 seconds. And I do need to move it all around because it's smaller than my entire thing. So it's a little more than 25 seconds. So usually by the time I'm done talking, it's 25 seconds, and there is no timer on the mini. The mini does also come with this. Make sure you keep it hanging around, because when it's hot, you can leave it on and be sort of going from one thing to the other, and it can stay on. But it does have an automatic shut off, so you don't have to worry, oh, did I leave my mini on, when you walk away from your project. So that should be about 25 seconds. I'm letting it cool a little bit. And here is the result. Isn't that terrific? So beautiful. I see here that little S got ruined, but I think that was in the way that I weeded it. So, or maybe not. No, that's the way the S is supposed to look, I guess. So let's do the Hello Autumn piece. Now, because this piece is going directly on that Polaroid piece, I am going to keep this plastic all around, because I want to just be careful of my background here, although I won't be doing that. Like, I won't be putting this on the card, right? Precious, precious piece. So 25 seconds, and I'm moving it around, kind of stay on. And this has a couple of little like leaves and such, so make sure you get all around on it for 25 seconds, and then allow it to to cool. I'm going to let it cool. I'm going to move this out of the way. And there it is. Hello Autumn. Now this one is done, so I can put that on my card. And then we're going to put together a couple of cards, because the other technique is that I want to show you is working with pencils, colored pencils, to color the trees, because they come out sort of blah, like you can't see that they're birch trees, but otherwise, I mean, the card is just about done except for the detail with the birch tree. So how did I put it together? So simple. This is our base. Okay, and it folds in sort of two places like this, and then there are all these little pieces, components, or whatever you want to call them, and we're going to put them in. So here is one. I really like that piece, and let's see, I like this brown that I cut out like this, and ooh, I like this, maybe this here, and then when I turn it over like this, I'm going to put another piece here, and we can either put a plain background here or this cutout. I cut out quite a few, so because I really like this card. So we're going to, oh, look, it has, that's nice too. Let's do that side. So we're just going to put a little bit of glue on all of these pieces, and they just pop into place just like that. So this is technically the back. I like that this isn't a traditional card base, and it creates sort of a scene, which I like. All right. Flip it over. Oops. You'll do it better than me, okay? All right, so this is... did I do that wrong? No, I didn't. So this is the scene. It will look like wood, okay? And then on the front side, I'm going to put my little Polaroid thing on there. And this is where that sentiment's gonna go. Oh, I gotta put this on there first. Like this. And there. And just one more piece I have to glue on before we start talking about the actual trees and the leaves. One more piece, which I think it will be this. Sometimes I have a hard time using my double-sided cardstock because I don't want to waste it. I don't know. I feel like if you're not going to see both sides, then it's kind of a waste, but that's just me, I guess. All right, so here's what the card looks like before we do the embellishing. Sorry, I've got to fold this right. And you guys will do it better. There shouldn't be that opening here, and that's why I'm having trouble. Okay, so birch trees. So what I thought about the birch trees is that they're often whitish or like almost like a gray ashy color, and this they told us to cut it in cream. So what I thought that I would do is I would go back and color in the actual trunks in white and gray colored pencils, okay? And then I would put the sort of, I don't know what those are called, but where they kind of peel off, I would put that in like a deep brown. So that's what I'm going to do. This is what I used. You don't need this, but this is what I used. It's 120 piece colored pencil. They're beautiful colored pencils, and so I used kind of a gray and a white. I also used kind of a brown and gold for the leaves. I'll show you that. And then what else did I used a darker gray. Is that a darker gray? I used kind of a dark, oh here, we'll use this for the sides of the trunks. Okay, so this technique, you know, it's just, I was just trying to tone down that cream color. So I'm just going to color in with my white pencil and my gray pencil all through there. I'm not like being very specific about it. I just wanted to color in that background a little bit. And it gives it a little bit more depth and makes it look not like paper, you know? So that's what I'm doing here, just coloring in. And up here are going to be leaves, so you don't have to get real specific here. Just kind of, you know, do these little bits that are the branches. Just a little bit. And if you don't want to do this step, you don't have to, obviously. If you have markers would work, but it might come out a little too deep. So be careful with the markers. So there are my tree trunks, which I think look kind of cool. What do you guys think? You like it? And just kind of putting a little bit of white on there just to kind of smudge it in. You could also smudge these a little bit. There are also watercolor color pencils, which I've been like, ooh, that sounds kind of cool. Okay, so I'm taking this is dark chocolate brown. And by the way, what I used was, in case you're wanting to do everything like exactly like me, this is white quartz and dolphin gray. And now I'm taking that dark chocolate brown, and with a very light hand, I'm just going to start putting in a bit of a circular manner. And I've been doing this sort of on one side to start, like this. And you might want to go a little darker sometimes, but mostly just light, like this. And then I turned it over and I did the other side too, like this. Again, this is all optional. You don't have to do it, but it does make for a pretty cool card and really professional looking, I think. I know. So this, and again, I'm sort of rushing through this, so you're going to be a lot better. You're not going to get it on the branch and all of that stuff. So this is what we do. Next come the leaves, and actually the leaves kind of the final piece. In this case, we still have this thing to put on, but so the leaves are cut out. They're like, some of them are in like bundles or branches, and this is more than just one, by the way, and they have a cut in here, so you can just with your hand sort of gently kind of cup them a little bit to give them, again, to give them a little bit of dimension. And then I took this one, which is camel brown, and I went in and just gave that what is that called? A vein? The leaf vein? I don't know. Gave it a little bit of color. And then if I wanted to get really super duper crazy about it, I can take my pencil and do a little dimension on there. So 2 new techniques today. That first one being colored pencils, and the second one is iron on your paper, and then we just go and put these on there once we have them sort of done like that. There's no rhyme or reason where you're going to put them, and just I wouldn't glue them all down like flat, because it's hard to get, without getting glue on the back, and B, I think they look better when they're sort of dimensional like this. So there's my finished product, except for the back. And I could probably put a few more leaves in there, but it's just a really pretty card, and you don't really need to. If you don't want to, you can leave the sentiment off, or you can do that there, but I really like the way it looks, and I can then give it to someone maybe I don't know, and so I don't have to take that space for the sentiment and do that all. Okay, that is our finished project from svgcuts.com. We used paper, lots of paper, different color paper, but you could do this in solids. We used colored pencils for the trees and leaves. We also used foil iron-on. Now, again, if you don't have something, then substitute it with something else. Don't stop what you're doing. If you're coming across a project and you're like, I don't have this. So what? You don't have it. Just go ahead and try something else. That's how good artists think, and you are all good artists. So that's the way it should go. Announcement about the Lilac Cutie. I hope she's still here. I saw her. Is Regina Lowry still in the house? Regina? This Cricut Cutie is yours. Yay! So Regina Lowry is getting this Cricut Cutie with a couple of other fun little treats that I'm going to send from my house. And so Regina, you know the drill. send me an email with your address and to Miss Rita to the rescue at gmail.com. I'm also considering, although we do have the Bundle of Joy going on in September, I'm also considering doing another Cutie giveaway at the end of the month. So if you didn't get the lilac, I have a number of duplicates. This one I have actually several. It's the raspberry Cutie. And so we're going to do that at the end of the month. So look for that. But do make sure you get your name in for the Bundle of Joy for September. And don't forget, if you want to be part of the Zoom, you can pick up the link on my page. Okay. And I will also post it on YouTube in like the notes. So that way anybody from YouTube can attend there. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming today. I really appreciate you. And I hope you enjoyed this freebie. No project tomorrow, but we'll be coming back on Monday with all those new cards. I'm going to be busy on Sunday doing all those new cards. So definitely. Oh, I think Lynn just posted the Zoom call, so you can actually copy and paste that if you wanted to. So I'm going to be busy putting together those pop-up cards as well. And I hope you have a lovely weekend if you can't make it Saturday. See you Monday. Get some crafting in. Thanks, Susan. And happy birthday, Holly. And congratulations, Regina. Take care, everybody. Thanks for the stars, Tanya. Bye.